Welcome to Talks, everybody. I'm super excited to be here today on our fifth episode of our monthly talks. And I want to introduce to you our first speaker of the day. Guess what? It's someone so dear to me, and I bet you enjoy this particular talk. By the way, as Talks, as a team, we are on a mission to connect the world with stories that matter. Stories that matter to the heart, stories that matter to the soul, and stories that really matters to whoever is going to be watching them, no matter the time, no matter the venue, no matter the place, no matter the country, no matter the city where you are right now. So my name is Oliver Shom, and I have the honor and the privilege to introduce our first speaker. And this is not any other person but Sean. Sean is going to be talking to us on a topic which he titled "Doesn't Matter Who You Meet, Life Happens." And are you ready for the serendipitous connections? So put your hands together as we welcome on the stage Sharon. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, Sean brings to us the topic you never know who you're gonna meet. Put your hands together as Sean comes on the stage.
Thank you so much, Oliver. Truly, if you've ever heard this sentence before, this statement before, you never know who you're going to meet. Well, today you're going to find out just how powerful the statement that this can be. Imagine talking to a friend on the phone and they invite you to move from California to Minnesota. Let me set the stage. I was talking to my friend who invited me to help her out with a favor. And I use the term lightly because, as a favor, this friend wanted me to move across the country temporarily to occupy a vacant rental and help with the construction project. I mean, this is an incredible ask. This is an incredible favor to ask of a friend. There's an ongoing joke where friends are reticent to help their friends move. But I had a friend ask me to move across the country. And I thought to myself, wow. But let me remind you what was going on 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we were at the height of the pandemic. So I'm weighing the comfort that I know in California versus a whole new world in Minnesota. So I decided to, you know what? What am I scared of? What am I afraid of? The weather? How cold could it really get? So I decided to go for it. And next thing I know, I found myself packing up everything and embarking on a new adventure. When I landed in Minneapolis, St. Paul, I thought to myself, what is this situation that's pulling and tugging my heart to make this completely different direction? When I went outside to catch the Uber, I took a breath of fresh air and I thought, wow, the air is so much better than California. And I was still at the airport inhaling jet fuel. So I got to my new place where I'd be staying at my friend's home. And imagine this, you walk into a new place and the closet is halfway full of clothing. I asked my friend, where do these clothes come from? She said that she got them from a free exchange of neighbors that's within a Facebook group called Buy Nothing. I thought, wow, how could this be? So many people who didn't even know me were supporting me. I had access to a community already. I never thought this would be possible. I said, how did it work? She said, I posted in the Facebook group that you would be moving here. You probably didn't have warm clothes. And by the way, I also posted, being your good friend, that you're single and ready to mingle. I thought that's so interesting. That is a good friend, looking out for me in more ways than one. So imagine yourself, you're in a new environment, but it's really hard to build community because everything is closed down. I'm not sure if you've ever been in a situation where you've had to build everything from scratch, but I realized in that moment that you can't do it without the support of relationships and community. You can't do it alone. But let me back up a bit. I forgot one key part of this story to help prove that you never know who you're going to meet. I told my dad that I'm going to be moving across country to a new city, maybe for a short time, I'm not sure. He said, wow, good for you. He looked over and nodded and thought and concluded with, you're going to move there and get married. I thought, wow, what a prophecy. This is a divine download from God himself to my dad to me. Well, we'll see what happens. So I'm not sure if you have anybody in your life like that who's extremely wise that can give you this type of feedback. So back to our story. In Minnesota, I thought, man, it's so different here, the environment, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it because, again, everything was closed. It was the height of the pandemic. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm here building a construction project with my friend. We're building a sauna, and she's very popular. So she would invite different friends from the neighborhood to kind of hang out and meet the new guy. Well, one of these visitors was her sister, who would come visit and hang out in a COVID safe hangout in the backyard. And little did any of us know at the time that her sister would be thinking and plotting, I'm going to set up Sean on a walking date. Because again, everything was closed. So imagine this. You're in a new place, you don't know anybody. Now you're going to go on a walking date with someone. And now it's the middle of November. So you're going to be bundled up wearing masks. I mean, this was coming to be a really awkward situation, like a job interview with really high stakes. So it started off very awkward, but what I found is that this date, this person was very caring. We were in our late 30s and we had a long checklist, but there was still a sense of care in this person's eyes behind the mask. So I got home from this walking date and I told my friends, if she were willing, I'd marry her tomorrow. And because of that statement and that sentiment and that authenticity, it came out the next date when we hung out again, and then the next date, and it became a little bit, made things a little bit more real. And I'll speed up, and we actually got married 5 months after that first walking date. And so I'm looking at you now, sitting here. You're listening to me, but I'm actually foreseeing many different changes in your life if you just open yourself up to new opportunities and adventures yourself. Additionally, you never know who you're going to meet. You could be having a regular casual day at a cafe or at work or at a church function, and you never know who you're going to meet. For me, it was more than just falling in love and getting married. It was opening myself up to new opportunities, community, and personal development beyond anything I could possibly imagine. I never knew what God had in store for me. So I ask you, I implore you, please, when you're turning that next corner, be open because you never know who you're going to meet. Thank you.